cause that be natural.
Lady
I ain't
D.
looking tacky. I keep my game tactful.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm so nappy.
M.O.B.
Cause that be natural.
The infamous.
I ain't looking tacky cause I keep my game tactful.
I'm so pretty, I'm so fat, boo. I'm so natural, it's like it's a taboo. I'm so filthy, got the tattoo. Stuck in these bitches like I own ragu. On my business with my platoon. Getting these minutes like I'm a typhoon. Down the jersey on that cartoon and I'm sitting on top.
Hey guys, welcome back to Afros and Baby Hairs, and thank you once again for joining me in the reading room. And today we will be discussing the Cartel 7 Illuminati Roundtable of Bosses. This will be book review number 7. So if you're interested in my thoughts and opinions on this book, then please keep on watching. I do not promote or encourage anyone under the age of 18 to read this book. This book is geared toward an adult audience, so if you are not an adult, please get your parents' permission and or supervision before attempting to read this book. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's get into this book review. So yeah guys, I'm going to start off by reading the back of the book, and it reads, "The cartel has ended. The king has been toppled. It's the end of Carter's rule of the streets, but with love and hate, crime and punishment, loyalty and betrayal, he can reign once more." In the next explosive book in the Cartel series from the minds of New York Times bestselling authors Ashley and JaQuavis, after the tragic and bloody end to the cartel's reign, Carter is forced into isolation to evade the law. His wife, Mee Mee, is facing federal charges. His brother is 6 feet under. With his once massive empire in ruins at his feet, Carter's powerlessness is his greatest enemy. But even the most beaten king will return to claim his throne. When Mee Mee is guaranteed her freedom, Carter accepts the conditions of her release. The terms: in order to get her back, Carter must help create and distribute a drug that will take the streets by storm. He will get his wife back. He will rebuild his kingdom, but to do so, he will have to rub elbows with the most notorious, ruthless leaders of the underworld. And in the game of murder and money, there can only be one winner. Yeah, that's what the back of the book is reading. So I'm just gonna go into my notes and we'll start from there. I'm just gonna tell you guys about, the book. So Carter, among a few others, kingpins and queenpins, they were kidnapped only to be propositioned by the Illuminati. Carter only agrees to move this new drug because it hasn't got any side effect. Plus, he knows the state of his family. Now, the kingpins that I can remember that were in this group of people to get, kidnapped was Carter, Anari, Brick, and Millie. So anyway, Breeze is about to do time for tax evasion. Mee Mee is about to do 15 to life on behalf of the cartel. And the sons, the little boys, they are about to go into foster care. The Illuminati assured Carter that they would make all of his problems go away if he agreed to help execute this new agenda. So Carter has been flown from Spain to India to see how this new drug is manufactured and also to learn the business. Has been indicted and about to serve a 3-year sentence, but before she goes in, she has 3 days to school Monroe Jr. and CJ on who they are, their family's legacy, as well as teach them how to shoot and defend themselves. Breeze ended up going to prison in South Carolina. The boys only made it to the CPS office before trouble came. At the CPS office, they were assigned to a woman by the name of Bernice, who was instructed to work on their case late night as if it was urgent. However, a district attorney shows up and tries to manipulate the boys. The boys ended up attacking him. The attorney ends up pushing CJ so hard he hit the temple of his head on the corner of a metal table and is knocked into a seizure, and he temporarily loses his eyesight. Now Mo, on the other hand, attacks the attorney. He ends up stabbing the attorney with a pencil, and they end up calling the cops and ambulance. Actually, it was Bernice who called the cops and ambulance. They arrest Mo and sends him to juvie. CJ is sent to the ER. From there, Bernice decides to list him as a runaway, CJ, and takes him home with her. So yeah, she's a social worker, this black lady, and she decided to take CJ home with her. Like I said, Mee Mee, she's gone to prison to do her time. So Carter and Anari, this is one of the queen pins that was kidnapped to be propositioned by the Illuminati. She and Carter are becoming good friends and thought something was fishy about this whole situation. To Monroe's son, he ends up getting a 7-year sentence for stabbing the attorney with the pencil. The social worker lady turned out to be a serial child molester. However, CJ gave her the business right before Estes showed up. Estes was there for Mo, but ended up with CJ, who was not blood related to him. However, he did not want to leave CJ in the system. Estes basically made CJ the help, then a fighter, due to the fight he got into at a party that Estes threw. Mo ended up whooping butt and getting thrown into confinement with his new cellie turned bestie. Now back to Anari. Anari ends up murking the guy who actually propositioned them. His name was Ghost. And she found out the truth. She texts Carter from Ghost's phone so that she could inform Carter of her newfound knowledge. Now back to Breeze. Breeze is in prison. She needs to click up with the crew, but she doesn't want to. Now she's 9 months pregnant, a loner, and making herself a target. The Hispanics tried to get her on their team, but Breeze decided to stay solo for now due to fear of linking up with the wrong clique. Anari and Carter decided to take the new drug and sell it in the suburban areas with their own scientists and team. Basically, Anari and Carter are now partners. Anari got Carter fake documents to get back into the US, since he is now the FBI's most wanted. Carter got a private investigator to find out where his family was. He learned that Breeze was doing time, Mo was doing time, and that his son had run away, and the last known address was of the child molesting social worker. He also had a meeting in the Dominic that Anari had scheduled that he needed to attend to first. CJ was set to fight at the pits. He ended up winning, and Estes figured he could make money off of CJ every week. So he began to have him trained, got him on the best diet, and basically gave him full access to the house. He also agreed to put money aside for CJ when he was older. Breeze ended up getting beat down in the shower and had to have her baby in prison with the help of the Hispanics. Her baby stopped breathing and had to be rushed to the county hospital. So Breeze ended up swallowing a razor blade so that she could be at the county hospital with her baby. When she came back to prison, Breeze was different, and the Hispanics gave her rank because of her last name. Soon, Breeze ordered revenge on her attacker, and her Hispanic crew, along with guards on her payroll, were happy to oblige her. Back to CJ, he overheard the pig and Ponytail plotting to kill Estes, and Estes took CJ to watch them die because of the disloyalty and disrespect. Estes was training CJ to be a fighter, a gangster, and bring out his killer instincts. He's actually went to the hospital to be closer to her baby. The nurse from the hospital ended up fostering Breeze's daughter, but when Breeze had asked her would she take care of her daughter, she had told her no, but she ended up fostering Breeze's daughter. So 3 years after Breeze got out of prison, she went back to find her daughter, find out that the nurse had actually been fostering her, and the lady was acting like she didn't want to let Breeze's daughter go. So Breeze figured she would have to do things the legal way to get her daughter back. Breeze also visited Mia Moore. Breeze had to let her know where she had been and where the children ended up. So, she went to visit Mia Moore at prison to let her know that she had been to prison. And Mia Moore ended up getting in touch with Aries, and she asked Aries to threaten the nurse that had Breeze's baby. And she told her to release Breeze's baby. Aries ended up giving Breeze her daughter, plus a car, plus $100K from Mia Moore's stash at the rehab center so that he could meet his daughter. However, Breeze discovered that Zaire was in a new relationship with a nurse who was the only person who had stayed by his side for 3 years. So Breeze didn't remind him of who she was or tell him about his daughter. Now back to the Dominic with Anari for a business meeting. However, the first night there, they went to the pits to watch young boys fight. And of course, Carter ended up seeing his son CJ. They had words. CJ was upset because Carter pulled a gun on Estes. CJ said some harsh things to Carter, then took off. Carter chased behind CJ, devastated by the things CJ was saying, and it made him go into a cardiac arrest. Carter ended up dying because the paramedics took too long. So her daughter and moving away from Miami, the funeral of her brother brought her back to Miami. Mia Moore was allowed to come to view the body before the burial. She took it hard, almost to the point she was suicidal, until her son showed up. Then she saw who he was with, which was Estes. So she figured Estes wanted an eye for an eye because she killed his daughter. So she told her son not to trust Estes. Mo has gotten out of juvie and has basically taken over Miami, just like the men in his family before him. He is hoping to reunite with CJ because CJ has a fight in Miami. You know, now they're older and he's trying to link up and get CJ in the business. So that's basically how the book ended. Once again, this was a wild ride. In the beginning, I didn't really know where they was going, but I had no idea that Carter was going to pass away. I think that was really, really sad and how that ended. But they kept mentioning him struggling with his heart, you know, always having these chest pains. I thought it was due to the gunshot wounds he had got previously, but obviously it wasn't. So yeah, it was just, this one right here was a sad one. To get this new drug, get his empire together, get his family back, but that's not how it went. So yeah, guys, I was scared for Breeze when she got into that fight in prison and the girl was like repeatedly kicking her in the stomach. You have to read the book because it goes into detail how that whole fight went. I was scared for her baby. And then when she went to see Zaire was all taped up. He had been through so many surgeries from, you know, shooting himself in the head. He lost, you know, part of his brain, part of his tongue, all these different things, and nobody was there for him but this nurse, you know. So they had told her when she first went in the building and went to the desk to sign in, they told her that no one had visited him the whole time he was there. So it was shocking for him to have like a friend or family to show up. But when she saw the state that he was in, and you know, his memory was kind of gone, so anything prior to the shooting he didn't remember, but you know, he could remember now. From, it's like his life started right after the shooting, so he could only remember then. So he didn't remember Breeze, but she didn't tell him who she was really or about the daughter, but the nurse kind of figured it out and she agreed not to tell him either. But you had to read the book. It was just, this one was a sad one for me, guys. Read the Cartel 7. Let me know your thoughts on it. And I do plan on trying to do a live to discuss the whole series, and I'm trying to work that out, trying to see what I need to do this live. So once I get that situated and Dman is available to sit down with us so we can discuss, then that's what we'll do the live before we move on to the next set of books. And also I do want to remind you guys that the Cartel 8, I think it's called Devil's Money, will be out in August. So when that comes out, we will be reading that then as well. So yeah, guys, leave your thoughts and opinions below. I appreciate you guys joining me today. I hope to see you guys on the next video. Peace and love, and as always, be blissful.
DJ Mike C on the track.
Cause that be natural.
Lady D.
Ain't looking tacky. I keep my game tactful.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm so nappy. Cause that be natural.
The infamous.
Ain't looking tacky. Cause I keep my game tactful.
I'm so pretty, I'm so fabu, I'm so nappy, it's like it's a taboo. I'm so filthy, got the tattoo, cooking these bitches like I own ragu. On my business with my platoon, getting these minutes like I'm a tapu. Y'all is jersey on that cartoon, and I'm still on top of these buffaloes. I'm so nappy, I'm so nappy. All these dudes that wanna get at me, I'm so cultured and I'm happy. Jealous witches wanna come back me, cause I'm comfortable in my skin. End of the day, you lose, I win. I'm so comfortable in my ends. Don't care if I make or lose a few friends, and I And beauty is the motto. Naturally thick in the bud, I'm Billy Blanks on the Tabo. Edges a little rough, just pretend I'm from Morocco. Organ all up in my hair, cause I let my locks grow naturally. My curls popping everywhere, I'm maximizing on this natural thing. Like it or not, I don't care. You clowns ain't about to worry me, cause does this for myself, and I'm repping for my ancestry.